welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, starting the stream just a little bit early, but filled with inspiration, filled with joy, filled with peace, filled with love. And the topic today, I'm going to jump right into this pretty quickly. The topic, finding optimism. Man, optimism, it's a key to positivity. Positivity is a key to optimism. Optimism is a key to hope. Hope is a key to optimism. All these things are interconnected. And the interconnectedness of things, it truly is my fascination. So, brothers and sisters, for those of you who are tuning in, especially if you're new here, welcome. And I encourage you, just chill out. Relax, open the mind up, and we'll see where this journey takes us. Because the perspectives on life, our perspectives on life, right? The view that we see the world through the veil of our beingness, those perspectives on life, they can make us or break us. I've experienced both. I don't like feeling broken. And I hope to help others avoid those feelings of brokenness, and maybe even help encourage others to move past the patterns of self-sabotage. It's what the world offers, and a lot of us become kind of blind in our lives to what has been going around with us. So for those who are available, interested, willing, I've dropped the link for those who do wish to join, pinned to the top of the chat. And hey, beautiful, thank you, perfect, cozying up, tuning in. Enjoy the show, enjoy the rhythm, please. These ideas of finding optimism. Here, let me jump to some of the things I do. Right, part of this, stay positive. Thumbnail, better days are on their way. Can you believe in that? Can you trust in that? Can you know that within you? I mean, one of the things to consider that I've been looking at a lot for myself is that today is really a result of our past ways of thinking. Okay? Everything we've got planned for ourselves, everything that we've got around us, it's all a result of the past ways of thinking. So take a hard look at what your day is planned with, what you're focusing on, what receives your attention in your day, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. But recognize that where we are today, the good, the bad, the indifferent, is a direct result of the past. And so what we do today, carrying that thought through, what we learn today, what we experience today, what we accomplish today, or what we ignore today, it is going to affect the future. So today, I hope if you can settle in and just relax and allow the mind just to, I don't know, consider, to reflect, to absorb what I'm offering. What I'm offering in these streams it's a bit of me. Who I am is simply what the result of the past has brought forth through me, with me. And it took me a long time, admittedly, it took me a long time in my life to grow to love me, but I really do. And not in some egoic, narcissistic, I'm so special, not in any sort of way like that, but genuinely, I'm funny as hell to be around, and I'm around myself all the time. I'm constantly finding things to laugh at, laugh with, and and um, and kindness. I know I'm a very kind man. I know that while I can appear pretty sharp and abrasive, you know, I'm actually pretty gentle in the physical reality. I know that I am, and I don't know. I've got an interesting reputation about me so far. It's quite it's quite fascinating and hilarious. I was thinking about it earlier today. For those who may be new to the Talcottian adventure, what I'm sharing, part of this is an update, my diary, my journal. Actually, one of the thoughts I had earlier, and I'll come back to where I was going. One of the thoughts I had earlier is actually here on these videos, I already have my book. My book is already here in this. There's probably a couple of books in the stories of me, and then in the some of the some of the concepts. Well, they could always be improved, but some of the concepts and teachings on calming the mind, gaining clarity and goals. We've talked about a lot of different topics in the time I've been doing these live streams, and there's technology already available there to take the recorded word, turn it into print, do a little editing, put things together. But bada bing, bada boom. Maybe there's something to happen there. That was a newer idea. But back to sharing the growth and the development of me here. It's kind of what's happening. Um, I I sometimes I do. It's been pointed out. Sometimes I actually come online, present myself online to work through the language of some new inspirations, some new thoughts. They're new to me and maybe old news to others, but these thoughts and these inspirations I receive and I find I feel so good. And this will bring up an update to the story. I've mentioned recently that I've mentioned often I seek inspiration, intellectual inspiration. And through the intellectual, I find spiritual inspiration. I've come across a couple of channels. One of them I'm just fascinated with, and I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but it's all these stories of saints, different saints throughout history, these men and women who have found themselves just devoted into God. And I'm like, wow, I think I understand. They've been inspiring me to maybe, I don't know, I'm prepared for whatever God brings forth. But brothers and sisters, sincerely, if you want more optimism, here's the topic of the video, finding optimism. If you want more optimism, it's hope, it's inspiration, it's reasons to believe in greater than what you've known. And it is important to seek the light, to seek the inspiration, to seek the hope for yourself, so that when others are facing their darkness, you can offer a handout, a calming arm of strength for someone to lean on. But you've got to be able to have some hope and some optimism, some positivity within yourself in order to do so. And it's really not that hard. Once you practice, once you put your mind to it, you can pretty much do anything, really. I don't mean to talk like that, but it kind of is pretty simple that the path in what I'm learning about some of these stories, some of these saints, truly miracles do happen. Our God is so mysterious. Our God is so amazing, so fascinating, so incredible. Sincerely, allow your mind and your heart to consider, praise God. Wow, I get to live. I get to live freely here on earth with the glory of the warmth of the sun, the majesties of the mountains, the beauty of the waters, the lakes, the rivers. Praise God. What a gift that has been bestowed upon us all. Praise God, man. I don't know what you've learned about life, but I know there's a lot out there. There's a whole lot to discover, not just in the physical realm, like learning about the world and exploring the world, but man, in the intellectual realm, in the spiritual realm, man, praise God. What an opportunity it is to live. Feel that? The breath of life that motivates us, animates us, brings us into being. It's always there. I've learned to count on it, learned to trust it, learned to pay attention to the little things that keep me alive, that bring me joy. Because really, why not? If something is available that keeps you alive, why not allow it to bring you some joy as well? I mean, that's really what fulfillment is. That's what pleasure perhaps is the fulfillment of desires. A desire is a need or a want. We always want our breath. We always want the day. We want those we care about. We want the flavors we like. We want the sounds we like. There's a lot to like and appreciate. And it's hard to find focus on the things we like and we appreciate when we're constantly in a defensive, combative posture, ready to go to war. Any little drop of the hat, any wrong word spoken, ready to engage. Man, let that go. Let that go. Life is sincerely. I glanced at the chat and I don't want to receive without offering. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am on a love frequency today. And I'm sincerely grateful for you guys joining. Brothers and sisters, keep it simple, stupid. Love is easy. Friggin' anger takes way too much work. Anger comes on like that. And once it gets moving, it can get a life of its own. But working against the anger, overcoming the anger, not letting the anger consume or to stay around too long, that's worth the effort. I've given thought to my own life. This too. Being positive, being a light to the world is much better than being negative. Sincerely, simplify the moments of your day and recognize, what am I showing? What am I sharing in the world? Is this lightness? Is this darkness? Am I offering into the world with light, or am I selfishly closing in and taking and and who knows, right? Dividing. We don't need to be so divided. We don't have to be so divided. I got this doggone beeping, and if that's coming through, I'm sorry. It's annoying me too. And it's not Discord. Where was that thought? I don't know. Blessings to everyone. For those who may wish to join, you are welcome to. I actually considered earlier, two things. I know the machine lies, our friend. He was intending to join. Sounds like he may not be feeling 100%, which is cool, man. I considered joining the I thought, it's Talcott Tuesday. Why not do what I want to do? And I thought about starting a stream. And well, first I thought about just trying to join Paul. Proper instruction motivates people, but doesn't sound like he's in a really proper inviting mood today. So I didn't want to interrupt what he's got going on. So hey, there you go. Grateful for meeting new people like yourself. Thank you. An intellectual stimulates the mind. Those are treasures. Seek those. Seek those people who stimulate your mind. It's my favorite pleasure, to be honest. my mind being stimulated. Thankful for your children, grandchildren. Amen. Family truly is a treasure. Brother, as you wish, brother, you are welcome to join. Any are. Today, the idea of finding optimism. Oh, there was a reason I brought up the saints and the stories of these people who truly devoted themselves just to becoming one with God, becoming in so many ways. I heard one of them describe it perfectly. There was a saint being described that he would be witness. He'd cry like 7 or 8 times a day. And he's like constantly in this state of just ecstasy and emotion. And I can relate. The way it was described, though, it's like in this bliss of meditation, and everything is, this is my clumsy way of trying to describe an experience. So it's in the silence and in the stillness. The goal is to seek, and I yearn within myself. It's like a longing and pleading to God to please. I want to know you. I want to know why. I want to know what. And so I go within, and you get this. It's the emotions that I seek. There's like a movement that happens within yourself, and it's through the path of the mind, the intentions, but it really becomes a very complex experience. It's like both a longing for and a having of. It's like you're empty and overwhelmed at the same time. It's a pleading of humility with a shame and deep sadness over the failures and truth of how ignorant I've been. And at the same time, it's an absolute joy and delight. It's like, oh, love, grace, graciousness. And then the physical, it's like a vibrating stillness. It's a bliss. There are all of these experiences, and it may be just fleeting, but it can be expanded too, the time. These are the things I seek constantly. And hey, here we go. We've got doggone it, I did it again. Welcome, brother. Machine Lies. Thank you for joining.
Greetings, Brother Talcott. Greetings. How are you doing today?
I am migraine less, so
Yes.
I am exceptional today. I feel exceptional today.
Well, between forgetting sleep and forgetting coffee, I've contracted a terrible migraine. but other than that, Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel great. I feel okay. I usually just feel pretty good, but, as a default. But yeah, I'm still going through my present struggles, as everybody knows. We all are going through something. But there's no need not to have optimism in life. About what we're going through, because you know there's a serious notion in which grace is things that have inherent value. Those things that the professionals cannot grant. The best help is unprofessional. The best things in life are free. They're like family, love, trust, things that you really can't quantify. These are the base level of our understanding of what's around us. And then when you have another sense in which optimism is preserving what we have. It's not about gaining or losing anything. Futurism is about gaining. And it's about being pulled into the future through the past. And that's faith in the future. That's the wrong way. But optimism is different. Optimism is about preserving what we have. You know, and knowing that we will remain intact whether we lose or gain in this world. Because our purpose is clear, our intentions are clear, our conscience is clear.
Yep. I'm sorry, you're dropping wisdom, and I'm frustrated. I keep
It's
hearing
no
this
worries. It's no worries. That's the beauty of
irritating
these. That's the beauty of these recordings. Yeah, I think that might be partly for me. Is that for me or is that from you?
No, the
'Cause I know
beeping
people.
it's over here, and I don't know why, and I don't know how to
Yeah,
end it.
yeah, yeah. You go on the right click on the Discord tab or one of the tabs or whatever that's making the sound.
Discord is not open.
Okay, then
It's not Discord. That's what people keep assuming and telling me, and
well,
it
that's
is not.
because it has the same exact tone.
No, I
It has the
know.
same tone, but whatever tab, if you could find which tab is making that sound, you click over the tab, you right click over it, and then you go to mute site.
It's not a tab. It's something with my connection, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, it's
don't
it's something with
know.
your Wi-Fi connection. Yeah.
No, I think because I got like hard drive, another monitor. I got all
Yeah, because
sorts
I
of
thought.
crap plugged
Yeah, because
into.
I thought it was my tab. I'm
No,
like, that's why
it's
I'm saying.
mine. So yeah,
Yeah, mute all
yeah,
notifications. Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do that through the the top tab, where it has the internet. I'm on the Internet Explorer. There's like those three dots, and I think you can go to settings and notifications or something, and then mute all the notifications. We're troubleshooting with brother Talcott here with the
yeah.
computer.
I'd
I'm
rather
not. I'm not very good.
actually not do this on the stream, to be
No
honest. I
worries.
mean, if it's going to be a problem, we can just wrap up the stream.
No, but that's just
Um,
that's how the technology does not serve us in a way. But yeah.
yeah. Um, well, so here, uh, feel free if you've got more on optimism or anything more you want to offer, man.
Of course. Of course. And I'd like everyone's feedback. Do you guys, feel what I'm saying about grace, inherent value, you know, seeing that it comes from where we are, not anything that was given to us, but things that really we begin with, person, place, family, environment. These things are, things we take for granted. So they are part of a system of inherent wealth. If you call it nature with a capital N, that's one way of looking at it. And then there's another aspect of things, which is life. Life serves life. That is about service. It's about a sort of a dying while giving. That's what life is. Like Nietzsche says, he says, look at an autumn as nature sacrifices its leaves. It dies. It risks death upon itself in order to be made new. And this is the the serving life. That's an exchange factor in that. And then there is the optimism. Optimism is not about gain. It's not about change at all. Optimism is about preserving what we have and knowing that what we have, will remain because we have faith, and it's something that can't be taken away from us. Nobody can take knowledge from you, yet knowledge is a possession, right? Because one gains knowledge, right? But nobody is in charge of the knowledge, right? Because knowledge is infinite. Okay. If we let the future pull us along, see, we're subsuming ourselves to futurism, to the pull of the future, but optimism seeks to move forward with the past. You know what I mean? But yeah, bless you guys for being here with us. Thank you.
So where do you feel the future's pulling us?
Well, I just think it's bad to have faith in the future instead of trying to understand that faith is here now. It's through how we change things incrementally. We have to push forward. Pushing forward is optimism. Being pulled, by a future that's just going to be there, and that is about something that we're not responsible for. It's something that we just wait for. Waiting for change, I think, is the opposite of optimism. It's futurism. I want to distinguish futurism from optimism. Optimism is a reiteration of what we have that can't be lost. Because it has inherent value, it can never be taken from us. That is optimism. And I think it deals with knowledge. I think it deals with knowing how we can learn and knowing that we have to go with what we know now instead of trying to attain to some position in the future, like enlightenment or change or something like that.
I'm not sure what you were saying there. I saw Cecil in the back, but the device, oh, there it is. Welcome, Cecil. You got some nature behind you. Beautiful.
You guys see me? Can
Yeah,
you hear
we
me?
see you. Yeah, I hear you.
A little bit.
Right now. Can you guys hear me?
No, we can't really hear you anymore, but yeah. But yeah, it's you're kind of roboting, but yeah.
I don't know if you can hear me or see me, but I can't really hear or see you. But anyway, yeah. Look.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Cecil. Yeah, we've seen that. Is that like a river?
Yeah, I'm out in the wood. I'm out in the country right now.
Nice. Good for you. It looks beautiful out there.
I like coming out here. Yeah. The mountains.
There's a spot. There's a spot just across the road, not far from me, that looks similar to that. Beautiful river. Nature. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drive down to the dam. I'll see if I can't get better reception up there. I'll be back in a little bit.
all right, brother. Thank you. Yeah. It is beautiful. It's good to see him outside too. I don't know. So so with this wisdom of what we've got now, what should we do? I mean, if optimism is pushing us, I don't know that I understand completely what you're saying or agree. Maybe it's my disagreement.
I did save a reading for the end, but maybe I'll bring it out now because it may elucidate my findings a little clearer. Because I know I sometimes speak in a level where it's hard for me to communicate my ideas, especially when I have a migraine. but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and proceed to this reading here. It's actually from William James. Will to Believe. I think that is an excellent essay on optimism itself, because he's talking about the importance of belief, and he's kind of jabbing at the empirical way of thinking, and I think the expectation of future results, right? Waiting until all the information comes in. That's kind of the mode of the empiricist, right? Well, the search for knowledge is never complete because of the patterns of falsifiability, right? So Karl Popper, for example, he said, the closer you move to knowledge, the less you know, because the closer you get to knowledge, the further the wall gets away from you, because the gap between what is known and what can be known becomes greater. Right. So he's got this Popperian wall. Well, you'll never really know it all. Right. And I think that William James kind of elucidates the opposite of that. And he uses belief and optimism of knowledge in order to make the point. So I want to read this passage here. He says, it's interesting what he says. He says, skepticism then is not avoidance of option. Avoidance of option. It is option of a certain particular kind of risk. And then he says, better risk loss of truth than chance of error. He says that's the gamble that the skeptic makes. He says the skeptic says better risk loss of truth than chance of error. But then he says that is your faith vetoer's exact position. He is actively playing his stake as much as the believer. So what he's saying really is that the process of knowledge is never complete. Therefore, you should have optimism for the truth. You shouldn't abandon truth for risk of error. You know what I mean, right? So he says that what you should really do is go with what you know. That's it. You have some knowledge about what you know. Use it to compare to what you don't know. It may be massive, but you still have to move along. You can't abandon truth. In other words, the truth is out there. And it's the position against skepticism, because the skeptic actually makes fun of that claim. He says, yeah, the truth is out there. No, they say it's there when we discover it. But we say it's there no matter what, because things have to be based on the truth. It's there whether we have it or not. You're muted, Brother Talcott.
thank you. That's one of the keys to apply what you're saying there too is son of a bitch, where'd that thought go? My mind just totally.
we're both on this haze trip today, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you for joining us, guys. And if you guys don't like the show, instead of being part of the peanut gallery and critiquing, maybe you can contribute because you're free to do that.
This laptop is pissing me off. This beeping. And anyway, the truth, humbling ourselves to that which we do not know, and allowing skepticism, and it I like that. Skepticism would risk discarding the truth than being wrong.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
William. Yeah, he's great with that. William James. Yeah, he's got a good stuff with that.
Well, part of understanding, part of communication is being able to accept conflicting ideas within ourselves, even if even if the belief is conflicting with ourselves and who we think we are. We've got to be able to contain beliefs, because out of the infiniteness of knowledge, infiniteness of information, for whatever reason, these experiences, meaning the words someone says we don't like, whatever, out of the infinite of possibilities, those information, those words are brought for us to see. And this world presents us a lot of things that we don't want to accept, that we don't want to believe, that we want to say, no way, blah, blah, whatever. Facts don't care about our feelings. And when we place ourselves above the truth, we don't want to accept the wisdom from another because of who it's coming from or the tone in which it was offered. So going beyond just the skeptic there, Machine Lies, but
yeah, it's excellent. Yes, excellent thoughts, Brother Jack. Go ahead.
And people are fascinating. The way we learn, the way we learn is so. Praise God, sincerely, the creator that allows us. Ooh, I'm sorry, this may be totally way off, but it's not. Right? Life. We've been talking about life and the natures of life and what truly brings us power, the true forces that move us. I think I narrowed it to 3 for myself. And they're all tied together: wisdom, beauty, and love. Through wisdom, beauty, and love. I mean, through wisdom and beauty, that's where we find love and the truth. And truth and love, wisdom and beauty, that's what makes life, right? Those have become my forces, my focus more recently. Actually, Machine Lies, thank you for joining me.
No worries, Brother Jack. Of course, this Tuesday, I'll be here on Tuesday, as I promised. So, I'm happy to contribute to the show as it's been happy to contribute to my growth and wellness as well.
Amen. We are growing together. We are. And what I wanted to offer for anyone who's tuning in, listening, right? These ideas, it can just come across as a bunch of word salad, right? Just a bunch of words being thrown around. But if you really stop to think about what I encourage everyone to do for yourself, start to really think about words, the words
Yeah, it's
you
like
use.
yeah, it's like what you said about wisdom and beauty and in love. You know, I mean, these are things that require, you know, critical and sane and practical definitions in our life, but nobody will offer them to us. So we have
Right.
to discover them on our own. I mean, there's just no other way. You know, these are the things that have true value, folks. You know,
Yes.
so you know, to discover them on our own and to have sane and clear you know, exchange rates and values for how we express those things, you know, these are very, very critical tasks of growth in our life. You know, we all know how much money we have. We all know how much, you know, you know, some of us know what's coming to us, you know, in the mail, and you know, all of these, you know, physical circumstances, you know, but they don't define our actual needs. You know, what our actual needs are met through these through critical definitions of these things that actually have value. You know, trust is better than gold. You know, and you know, that is the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, we actually need to have place those values in those non-material things, and then once we do that, how can we not have clear definitions of those things? You know.
It's a key. This world, though, that we were born into, I'll keep saying it, the deceived have raised the confused. And I've played both roles in my past. I was deceived and I was confused, and I raised a confused man, unfortunately. But I'm confident, regardless what any others are or are not doing, right? From our individual perspectives, regardless what anyone else is or is not doing, all of us, we all have a responsibility to ourselves and to all those we care about. We've got a responsibility to grow, to become greater than we were. Why? Because we can. I mean, if we're going to be here and we're going to live, why not become greater than we were yesterday? And it doesn't have to be exponential, you know, these huge leaps and bounds, but it can end up that way, but it can start with something very, very small. Changing something very, very small in your life can truly transform the trajectory of your future. And that real small thing, it's your attitude. What kind of mood are you bringing yourself around, right? I was considering the idea of finding optimism. I tied that idea with some thoughts I'd heard from, I think it was Abraham Hicks before, about finding just a little better. If you find yourself judging someone, something, yourself, an event, if you find yourself judging it real harshly, real critically, and you feel bad as a result, find a thought, a perspective that's just a little bit better, just a little bit different, right? Because everything has layers and layers of truth and of importance. So what I was thinking about this earlier regarding finding our path in life, right? Discovering the way for you to live as you authentically. That's what we're here to do. How do I live the way of me honorably, ethically, and bringing forth the best talents and the best gifts that I can find in me? How do I do that? You've got to be able to humble yourself to the truth. Be willing to be wrong. Be willing to be right. Be willing to walk away when things just don't fit right. To go change directions, to try a different path. That's really what life is about. Finding ways to be just a little bit better. A little bit better and a little bit different than what the world was before. Because here is the point too. I've heard it said that as each of us individually, when you awaken, when I awaken, when we start raising our consciousness from the selfish, traumatized, beaten, and bruised, when we start changing from the small ways of thinking with the limited mind, the egoic patterns, we can rise above. And as each of us awaken and raise our consciousness more into the unity mindset, more in line thinking of, right? God, what does God want? What does love want from me today? What does love ask of me? If as each of us start doing that, it makes sense. It sends out ripples of light, ripples of change, because that's how nature works. We are subtle powers who are infinitely powerful. What do you think, brother? I've been going on there. I'll yield.
I think you have a good summation there of the facts that are at play in terms of that optimism is about the future, but it's not with what other people are doing. It's not with the reaction we have to what other people are doing. And the situations in life that bring that about. But it's about an internal wealth. And I began to talk about sort of epistemology and kind of how because William James was brought into the fray, and I think it's kind of like about a mental hygiene, not casting away truth, as he said, and knowing, as you said, that truth kind of comes from within. It's not from checking yourself with what other people are doing, but it's about a process, because how are you going to know if something somebody else says is true unless you know it for yourself? You're agreeing with them because you already knew that inside of yourself to say, so whatever you agree with somebody else, you say, oh, that person has spoken truth, and you pretend like you just learned that. But you knew it the whole time. It's just somebody repeating what already you knew inside. That's the way you agree with it. How could you agree with something that you never knew? You know what I mean?
Right.
So all truth comes from within. We got to stop playing these games. And saying that the truth was granted to us, by external circumstance. No, that's not what happens. It comes through our own process of discovery. And what are we discovering? Well, ourselves. New dimensions of ourselves.
That is it. And what I realized too, the way it's what was spoken by the prophets and the teachers before, the narrow path of truth. So in the narrow path of truth, you are going to receive many different perspectives, and yet you maintain. You don't allow those perspectives to move unless it's righteous to move. Praise God. I sincerely, my life transformed, and I know I know I'm not alone in what I'm saying because it's been confirmed by people smarter than me, right? But changing the focus of our mind from away from the physical part. Yeah, the physical part is there, but it's not the importance. It's not the be all end all. It's just the sign. It's a symbol. The physical part is the symbol of life, the true essence of life. It's in the wisdom, in the truth, and in love. Those two things. I worship those.
Yeah, I just want to point out before you go on that is a deep thought. The physical part is the symbol of life. Woo! You know, that's some deep shit, guys. You know, I hope you guys are paying attention. But yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Thank you, brother. The signs and the symbols, man. That's how it is. We are. Oh, here's another signs and symbols. I might have got this from you. I don't remember where I heard it. An old prophecy or story that humans, we are like letters in the alphabet. Each of us, we all serve a meaning and we all represent one thing, but as we come together, the true magic happens, just like letters and language. I thought that was beautiful, man. People are like letters. What were you gonna say, man?
Well, no, I just commented that was my feelings exactly. You know, that we're expressing truth because you know, you talked about the possibilities. You know, and that goes back to you know, the truth itself. You know, nothing exists within a vacuum. You know, nature abhors a vacuum. You know, so really, where does the truth come from? You know, well, the truth is both. You know, it's something that is parallel with possibility, meaning that whatever can happen will happen. Where does the possible exist? You know, the possible is one in one with the actual. You know, if you really pay attention to what's going on, you know, you know, it just seems like, and that's why I don't worry about the future. You know, as I was saying, you know, is that you know, everything that will happen is here now. You know, as they say, there's nothing new under the sun. You know, whatever can be made up, you know, you know, is coming from what is already there. Reality is stranger than fiction, in other words. You know, whatever's going on around you is far more nutty and and has far more depth than anything that can be imagined or made up. You know, the made up things are based on the real things. It's not that the real things are based on made up things. You know.
Dude, and yet there's no separation. Hey, so what you were saying though,
Yeah, there can't be. Yeah, yeah.
what you were saying though, I think I'm gaining a little more clear picture of you and your perspective. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. I came up with it on my own. I'm sorry, folks. It takes a minute to
no,
get there.
it's
But yeah.
it's beautiful, man. But here, I want to encourage you and others. This is something I've learned from others, and it has helped me envisioning the future you want. And the more I've thought about this, the more I consider, okay, so what if? What if we are within the mind of God, the expressions of life that God has brought forth? And God has brought us forth for its delight, for our growth, for our purpose. And what if God truly is there to serve those who serve, right? A mutual exchange of powers and energy in the supernatural beyond just the physical expressions. It seems it would make sense. So, as we, children of God, devote within ourselves the will to serve God, God would likely serve us. So, God has served us already with the possibilities and all that life may offer. It's already been given. But more so, God has given us the power of creativity, of imagination, to bring forth the ideas from the heavenly realms, right? We get to tune in to the heavenly realm where all things are known, all truths are. We can tune in, capture those ideas, bring them down here into the physical form, and with our energies, bring forth. If that's true, what I'm focused on is let's bring forth some heaven here on earth. I think it's time. I believe people deserve better. But then again, God chooses, not me. What do you think, man? The imagination, the power of imagination regarding its influence in the future. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think it relates to what I said before, about possibilities, that are really harvested out of the structure of what is real. So I think that imagination, is here now. The realm of imagination, I don't think it's a future realm. I think that it is a present realm, and I think that it contains with it possibilities, and how do possibilities manifest? They can only manifest out of what is real. That's practical, and sane, but if they manifest out of what is not real, meaning that possibilities build up and they randomly change. They build up to something. That means that randomness builds up to bigger and bigger things, and then they create emergent possibilities, and new structures. But what comes to be out of what is. Impossible is nothing. In other words, there is no non-truth. It is the lie that's based on the truth, not the truth that can be based on a lie.
Yes. Welcome, Flow State. How you doing, brother?
Greetings, friend.
What's up, guys? Doing good. Just keep going. You were on a flow, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I was just trying to sneak in instead of like barge in.
No, that was it. That was all that
right.
for that particular one.
Beautiful. But it was hold on, let me bring it back. I am at such peace these days. I really am. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know what the future's going to bring. Don't know. Well, actually, machine lies. All possibilities come from the real, from the true. I think it's possible, probable. It's my choice. If I get any sort of say in this world, I do. I want to find a way to help end wars. Totally change this world. Something totally, I don't know. What you were talking about, the building upon, I think is how you said it. The unfolding of time. I've heard others talk about the unfolding of time and the emergence, and I struggled with those concepts in my head, but the more I'm considering it, I think that is. Because what you said, everything is already there. It's unfolding and revealing itself for us within our consciousness. That's where all the truth is truly.
I didn't follow that.
I dropped off there.
Okay.
Well, it's like these physicists like Laplace and all these kind of guys in the past, kind of said that, if you had enough information to know what's happening around you, a random chance event actually seems like it was meant to happen. Because you don't have enough information. That's what's keeping you from knowing, what's going to happen. It's just that you don't have all the facts. So to believe that, there's no way of knowing, or that the facts aren't out there, that is a sense of surrendering to the unreal, surrendering to what is, what is not, in other words, it's a surrendering to untruth through risk of error, which brings back to the I think the sane epistemology against skepticism that gives us, mental hygiene, the tools for mental hygiene,
Damn. Your thoughts, Flo? My mind.
I'm trying to figure out. Are you saying that we can't, or that everything can be known? TML.
Theoretically, it is possible, yes.
But that would mean that we would not. The fact that you and I are different people means that you can surprise me, right?
Oh yeah, of course. But the truth has to exist within a subject.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what that means either.
Like the difference between the subjective and the objective. Like
Yeah,
you observe
okay,
something.
so, right.
Right, you observe something outside of yourself. That isn't
Right.
the object,
Okay.
right? You are observing it. You are the subject. Get it?
Okay.
Right.
Mm.
So I think that truth has to be participatory, right? And in that sense, and I also think that truth means that it's a hundo.
But truth is the object that's observed by subjects, right?
No.
Because truth is outside of us. This is peanut butter.
No. Hey, hold on. See,
Okay.
I don't think truth exists outside of us. But yeah, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was going to say this is peanut butter. We can say that that's the truth because you and I, the subjects, can both look at the object and know that the truth is this creamy natural peanut butter.
Right. Through participation as subjects.
Okay, touche.
So that's what I meant to say is that the truth is participatory, but that's not to say that.
But it didn't become true because we looked at it. It was true external our observation.
No, when I said the truth is out there, I didn't mean the truth is outside of us. We still have to observe it from within. You know what I mean?
But I disagree with that. I think the truth is outside of us. It's objective.
Yeah, I think that's false because it has to be contained within a subject.
A subject can only recognize the truth, but the truth itself is external. It's objective. If it were dependent on the subject, then
but it can only be recognized by a subject, right?
Right, okay, but the subject. Hold on. Well, okay. So if I were,
so how would
one of us were colorblind.
So in other words, no, hold on. So in other words, how would you know that truth exists outside of a subject?
Well, the subject can't know anything outside the subject because it would not exist. But the subject can be wrong about what it experiences. If you're colorblind,
but you just said the subject attains to knowledge of objective things.
It does take a subject. What is that noise?
It's Cecil.
Oh, sorry, my ears going.
But yeah, this is a fascinating discussion, though. I like this.
Okay, but the truth is, this can is pink, right? This is a pink can of peach knee-high. It is pink, whether or not we're colorblind.
How would you know that?
Well, I wouldn't, but truth exists outside of me. The pinkness of that can does not depend on my knowledge.
How would you know that it exists outside of you?
I wouldn't, but that doesn't mean it doesn't.
Yeah, but you would have no way of knowing that.
That's true.
Yep.
But it would still exist.
So
how?
Here,
would you know?
What about
Go ahead, Jack.
What about this? The distinction between the real or truth. I mean, is that where we're talking?
No, I think that is a false distinction because that is the beginning of symbols itself. Because that is the difference between the existential and the predicative.
Okay, but this is what we're discussing. I mean, the pink can is a symbol that would identify pink in the shape of a can, and
yeah, it's merely on the symbolic level.
What's that? Oh, I need to get another pink can of pop. I'm listening.
Yeah, I think my definition of truth itself also comes from Kierkegaard's definition of truth, which I hate to read out another definition of truth in this late.
Are you solipsistic?
Huh?
Are you solipsistic?
No, I gave a whole show on solipsism. Did you see it?
The can is every color but pink.
Okay.
Heard that
okay,
before.
look at the show with the purple thumbnail I did 2 shows ago. I'll explain solipsism to you.
But I'm colorblind. I'm not. I gotta look at it.
That helps reiterate my point in a way. But yeah.
So it's kind of like if a tree falls in a forest and nobody's around, does it really make a sound? So
Yeah,
like,
I think that we're disputing.
If the can is pink and we can't perceive the pink, is it really any color at all, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah, it seems like we're disagreeing about whether the chicken or the egg comes first as to the observer and the observed. Is that right?
Yeah, because for what you're saying to be true, then truth would have to exist without a subject. That means that the that matter would come before mind. I think that that's implausible, right?
I don't see that connection.
Well,
it would mean that the truth is not dependent upon it being observed, or reality does not need to be observed to be real.
Yeah, you see what I mean, Jack?
Okay, and I'm coming around.
Yeah,
I think
it's deep questions, guys. But yeah, you guys are welcome to join the conversation by clicking the link. We'd love to.
So, but truth is based on our perception of something, or no? You're saying truth is external to our perception.
Well, perception and truth are 2 different levels of things, you know.
Right, I get that part, but like, so the truth is something that is external to our perception, but can still be a part of our perception. It's fucking deep, bro.
That's what she said. That's
Well, I
also
saw
what
you guys. You guys are sitting here talking about some crazy shit while we should be figuring out what Talcott's going to be doing with his life. I just came up with a great idea. I was wondering if you're into farming at all, Mr. Talcott, because there's places that will let you go and stay there if you work the fields.
He's here to save the day.
Well, his message of love and like prosperity and abundance goes really well in the garden, because you could put 1 seed into the ground and then you could have thousands.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, bro. You can put 1 seed into the ground. You can put 1 seed into the big old freaking ground over there, bro. You know.
Exactly.
And by the way, Jack, I heard that comment you made about you're glad to see me outside. That's a pretty strong word from a man who never leaves his fireplace. Just saying.
I've seen him stream downtown though, downtown Seattle or wherever he was. I seen him do it.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
And if I had a fireplace that good, I'd be sitting there too. Sorry, machine.
I go outside all the time, just so you know.
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, I apologize.
I was curious.
Talking over you.
I was curious if anybody could answer if truth requires an opinion.
Oh, holy fuck, this guy.
That's it. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Is my opinion truth to the highest degree? I would say no.
No, if it was truth, it wouldn't be an opinion.
Ooh, I like
interesting. So truth does not require an opinion. That right there stops a lot of bullshit, in my opinion.
Now, is that truthful?
I'd say that's more of a fact.
Yeah, I think that a good definition of truth is unified knowledge, you know, that exists within a subject. You know, I don't think that you know, I think that truth is you know, or knowledge, you know, in other words, is infinite, but the difference between infinite knowledge and grounded truth is the subject, you know, or the participation within a subject, you know. And I think the highest form of subject is God's observance of the entire universe. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So an observance higher than what you may believe or think. Because I could believe I won't fall off a cliff. It could be my opinion. I won't fall off a cliff. But if I walk off that cliff, is truth going to care what my opinion was?
Nice
What
butt,
question are
Jesse.
you trying to answer?
And you didn't fall off, you walked off.
Yeah, there's a huge difference there. I mean, I would say if you're using opinion, like you could be like, "Oh, I'm the best mountain climber in the world. I don't need to use ropes and stuff like that." And then you die. And I mean, that was your opinion, and it was dumb. And factually, you were really dumb to do that, and so you died.
Facts.
Yeah, but I like what you said about practical goals, about optimism being in practical goals, especially in planting something. You know, because when you plant something in the ground, you know, of course, you know, you're creating seeds that can create millions of you know, new plants and stuff like that. So like the whole enterprise of growth within nature is a project for optimism, you know, because it's stuff that's given and it multiplies without you know, much effort. You know, so the fecundity of nature is like optimism on full display, in my opinion. You know, I think nature is one of the main things, you know, to consider.
I'm considering nature right now, bro. I had to come out here because I got tired of that bullshit. I don't even live in a large town. I was like, dude, I need to go somewhere and look at the sky and some trees. And there were some rock formations back there that fucking tripping me out.
I love the support. Anyone else? Thoughts on optimism?
Well, I've already said a lot. I thought I'd let somebody else speak for now, but if nobody else will speak, I will fill the silence.
I got you. I got you on this.
Sure, dude. Yeah. I was kind of responding to what you were saying about gardening. You know, you remember?
Yeah. I mean, optimism, right? Like when I planted my strawberries last year, all they were roots, right? And I was like, fuck, how is this going to turn into anything? Well, I was pretty optimistic about it. I went out there and I took care of it every single day. And then I started noticing that Mother Nature just keeps duplicating itself, right? And so the strawberry plant started throwing runners. And then I had by the end of the season, I had 100 strawberry plants. And I think if I was pessimistic and said, fuck it, I would have just left it. It would have just died, and I would have wasted my money on strawberry runners and fucking soil and shit, and I would have probably grown weed in its place. But that's an optimistic thing too, because I love growing weed. But I wanted to grow strawberries.
Yeah, I recently obtained a guide on how to grow mushrooms, so I'm gonna start trying to grow some mushrooms. You know, so that's gonna be an interesting enterprise. You know. Sometimes
Why don't you just send me an email and I'll send you an email back and I'll give you the easiest way to do it, and then you can do it once and then do it right.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I have. I have like a manual of somebody who knows how to do it, you know. But yeah. If you want to chip in, yeah, of course, I'd be happy to have some different perspectives on it as well. But yeah, I've been I eat regularly eat a bunch of types of mushrooms like maitake and shiitake. and reishi mushrooms and lion's mane and cordyceps mushrooms and wood ear mushrooms and oyster mushrooms. So yeah, they contain a high level of nutrients and things. So yeah, I was gonna try to grow some, have a
And you
constant.
could dry them too.
Yeah,
Sorry, you could dry them. So
yeah. So I was thinking of a project, growing some type of food source or some type of thing that you could rely on all the time, or have turn into a food source, or turn into like some type of cake or something like that, just in case like everything goes down. I mean, you got like you grow some shit. Like I grow like
Mushroom
like I've
cake
grown
sounds
like
terrible.
huh? What is it?
Mushroom cake.
oh
Yeah, like
god,
little like
you don't want to eat that
little like
mycelium cake.
giant like Rice Krispie things with fucking like honey and shit, like just like crunch them together when it's fucking the apocalypse happens.
You could choke it down, but an MRE would be so much easier.
I got a friend
Yeah,
who works at a health resort in Florida, and she said that one of the main foods they eat down there is sunflower seed sprouts.
yeah,
They get like the big ass, like the black bird seeds, sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
You just put those in a tray and grow them, and yeah, she likes the fuck out of them.
That's what. Yeah, I do that too. I grow like broccoli like sprouts or whatever the fuck it is. So you like put them shits in a jar, and then you put them shits in food and shit. They have tons of nutrient, because if you sprout these fucking shits, the seeds like lentil seeds and other shit, it contains different amounts of nutrients than if you just have them shits. If you just eat them, like out of the seed and shit. So you could just fucking sprout them. That's the only thing I've really grown in life, is like these little sprout things. You know what I mean? You get like a little sprout kit.
So TML, if you're talking about growing mushrooms, I've read a bunch of material on. It's about the rye cake, the rye grain cake that gets sterilized in like a pressure cooker. And you want to sterilize them with like heat, because mold is like weeds to a mushroom. And then you put that in like mason jars, and then I think you can inject those cakes with your mycelium spores. It used to be you could order this shit.
You still can.
In like you inject them. Still order them?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody would be like interested in the audience or something like that, we could have like a DIY, like the Machine Lies DIY, and send me ideas for things that people can make on their own, through their own effort, that a single person, through a single person's effort, they can make on their own, and we can have Machine Lies DIY. It's an idea that I want to do, someday. So,
Amen. All right,
yeah,
so back to optimism and plants. So Jack, back to optimism. Like when you play like really nice music for the plants, it's been studied that they do way better than if you're like yelling at them and being all fucking negative to them. So even the plants know when you're being a negative piece of shit. So the plants won't even grow good. You know what I mean? So I think the same is with people. If someone's getting negative all the time, they're just going to be nothing but negative, and they're going to mirror that out on the world. So I think the world needs more love. Not even a comment? Was it that bad?
I'm sitting here just honestly, and I'm reflecting. Where's my life come to? What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? I can't answer that question. So I think it may be time to wrap up. Thank you guys for joining, sincerely. I'm going to go pause and reflect a little bit more. Final words, brother?
Yeah, I wanted to hit people with that definition of truth, and I guess I got a little story for everyone about optimism. If you guys want to hear, if you guys will engage me, the definition I have mainly just for the brother flow state. This is by Kierkegaard in Post Scientific. In Post Unscientific Postscript. He says, when subjectivity is truth, the definition of truth must also contain in itself an expression of the antithesis to objectivity, a memento of the fork in the road, and this expression will at the same time indicate the resilience of the inwardness. Here's is such a definition of truth, an objective uncertainty held fast through appropriation with the most passionate inwardness is the truth within a subject. Anyways, the story I wanted to tell is about a man who's climbing a tree in the jungle, and you know, he slips and reaches a vine, and he's hanging you know, by the vine. He's stuck and he's dangling upside down. His feet are stuck on the vine, and he's hanging by the tree, and he's stuck in the jungle, and he has no way out, off the vine. So he's just kind of dangling there upside down. You know, his one foot is stuck to the vine, you know, and pretty soon two tigers come and start circling underneath the vine. And he's thinking, oh shit, now my goose is cooked, because eventually this vine is going to snap, or, you know, I'm going to dangle here and die, but even if I fall down, the tigers will maul me. You know. So and then two rats come and start chewing on the vine. You know, so then he goes, oh shit, now I'm even going to die faster, because eventually I'm going to fall off this vine and the tigers are going to maul me. And and then he sees a strawberry bush in the distance. You know, and I'm reminded of Moose growing the strawberry bushes, you know what I mean? But he sees these strawberry bushes in the distance, you know, and he starts swinging his vine towards the strawberry bushes, you know. So he starts swinging a little bit, you know, as the rats are chewing on the vine, and the tigers are circling underneath, and as they're done chewing on the vine, he swings his vine so that he lands near the strawberry bush. And then he gets mauled by tigers. And then right before he dies, he eats the strawberry. So his last move was to fall near the strawberry bush so he could have a last meal. You know, and the last meal was the strawberry. And he said the strawberry was the sweetest one he'd ever tasted, because right before he died, you know, and he was dilapidated, and he had been mauled by tigers, he ate one single strawberry. But anyways, guys, I think it's about turning a bad situation into the best situation, even if it's the worst situation in the world. You know, you could still make something out of it. You know. But yeah, bless you guys for being here with us, and thank you for having me, brother Talcott.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you joining. Brothers and sisters, thank you to all who joined today on the panel and in the chat, maybe who joined at a later date as well. There was an obvious shift in me, if you didn't catch it. I'm going to go review it and reflect on it. But it's kind of, it's a question that's been brewing up with me quite a bit. Kind of contrary to the topic of finding optimism, finding my path. I was optimistic about this path, and I know there's still a lot of reasons to be so. But today, I don't know. Brothers and sisters, I'm often misunderstood. Okay, I'm often, and I do my best to explain, to articulate, to point out the reasons or what it is that I'm saying, what I believe. But I've been saying this as clearly as I can. I believe there is a better world waiting for us all. It's hidden behind our disbelief, behind our procrastination, behind our excuses, and behind our blame. In every one of our lives, there's a better world waiting. As soon as we start believing, we start focusing, getting clarity on the future, learning from the past, the things that we've learned of, the things that we know of, the things we do and do not like, taking that knowledge, the truth of what we've learned from the past experiences, then building upon those to create a better future, a better world. I don't know. I don't know what I expect by doing these things. I do hope to have some fun conversations, and I hope to be valued in the conversations. But the emergence of where I've come from, it is what it is, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all who join, all who participate, all who support. And I'm even grateful for the attention of those who oppose me. I look forward to when those who I care about stop ignoring me. And I don't know. This is an interesting life we're living. As I said in the beginning of the stream, this is part of the Talcottian adventure. I'm a man trying to find my way. My past life, the foundations of what I used to believe, they were yanked out from under me. Carpet was, so to say, and my life transformed. And in the transformation of my life, I have found faith. Faith in God. Faith that there is a good in the future. I don't always see it. I sure search for it. I seek it. I try to find it. I try to point it out for others. I try to walk the walk that I hope to speak, right? Try to be a messenger of light and hope and of faith. I do have faith in the future. Maybe I'm losing a little faith in myself. I don't know. But that's what God does. That's what life brings forth. Brings us these challenges, these different perceptions, these different revelations, realizations within ourselves to help us gain clarity. What are the energies of life bringing for me, through me, with me, for you? Because that's what I live. That's where I'll go. I'm going to go meditate on that some more. Because I don't do this for me. I hope for joy in the journey and to enjoy the adventures. But I do this sincerely, hoping for a better world. And a better world starts with you, because I don't know the world. I don't really know you. But by God's grace, our paths crossed today. And sincerely, thank you again to all who joined, all who may join in the future, and always peace, 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 peace. Peace is the goal. It's always there. It's found with love, and love reveals the answers. So accept the answers with love, with peace, with joy, and with the joy and the gratitude of peace and love and the truth and the answers. Go forth, and we'll create a better world for us all. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.